Hello everybody! Today is printmaking day. We're going to be working on some different stations. So we're going to need to fold this piece of paper into 6 sections. In one of the sections you're just going to write Printmaking Techniques and number 1 through 5, and I'm just quickly numbering my boxes. You can do this at the beginning or you can do it at the end, either is fine. Now one of the stations you're going to go to and try out today is texture rubbing. Texture rubbing is something we should all be familiar with, and this is actually a very simple form of printmaking. I want you to try to combine a bunch of different colors, a bunch of different textures, and come up with a very unique and original image. We are using these Crayola color sticks, which are awesome. Alright, another station you're going to go to today is the found objects, and so it will kind of look like a bunch of junk. There may be printing ink or paint at this table, and you're basically just dipping these objects in ink or paint and stamping with them to create a original and unique design. So stamping is another very simplistic form of printmaking. Make sure to fill in and use your whole space. Alright, another station, you're going to find these little foam squares, and you are pressing very firmly with a pencil and drawing in a design. For this activity you can just play around and draw any design you want. As you can see, I'm just kind of putting a peace sign in here. We are not adding any ink at this table. You'll be keeping that and carrying it to another station. Another station is called the collagraph printing station. A collagraph is where you're going to be cutting and gluing things onto a plate or a board and then creating an interesting design. So we're just kind of using some foam shapes, and you can use yarn, and anything that's raised is going to be printed later. So again, you'll take this piece and carry it with you to the stations until you get over to the printing station. Alright, our other station is going to be monoprinting. Monoprinting is very fun. We have these nice rubber plates that you can use. We're just dabbing a tiny bit of acrylic paint. Like seriously, look how small that is. Okay, the less ink you use, the better. Alright, so we're using this nice beautiful brayer. I'm going to roll the ink onto your plate, and once it's completely covered, then you can use your tool to draw a design in. Any design you want to do is fine. So I'm just going to do some wiggle lines, dots and dashes. Now you're just taking this, putting it in one of your empty boxes, trying to line it up, and setting it in place and gently pressing on it. Once you feel like it's gone and pressed on all the edges, you can carefully lift it. There's your print, and you need to wipe that clean before you leave this station. Alright, now the last station is going to be the inking station, and you will take your relief foam print and your collagraph, and you're going to be inking both of these and printing both of them in the extra spaces. So to add some ink to your tray, you just squirt some on. A little bit will do it. Roll it on the brayer, and then using one of those big pieces of paper, so we're protecting our tables, you ink up your little printing plates here. So you're separately rolling the ink on the foam relief, and then you also have your assembled collagraph. I'm going to print the relief one first. So wherever I drew the lines, that's going to print white. Okay, it's very similar to the monoprint. Wherever I drew, those lines are white. Okay, the collagraph's a little bit different. I'm going to add a little more ink to it. And yes, some of your pieces might move a little bit because we just got done gluing it. You can see my little foam triangle came off. But anything that you added then prints. So collagraph is, you get a little bit of a reverse image. When you're finished, you're going to label your techniques. So thinking about what stations you visited, they can be in any order. They don't have to be in the same order as mine. So my box number 1 was texture rubbing. My box number 2 was my found object printing. Number 3 was monoprint. 4 was our relief. And 5 was collagraph. Okay, and once you're finished labeling those, Mrs. Belzer's going to need to check them real quick. Thanks, guys.